Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is doing great. Today it is Tuesday, and I am, oh, actually, it's not day 6 of puppy ownership. I just completely lied because I brought the puppy home on Thursday. So it's actually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Oh, yeah, it is day 6. Just kidding. Okay. I could delete this, but I want to exemplify what it looks like to fail and be completely fine with it right here on camera. So, yeah, I am on day 6 of puppy ownership. Aspects of puppy ownership have taken me by surprise, both for good and for bad. And I have zero regrets, just for the record, in case, because some people have been asking me how's it all going. The kids are doing amazing and loving puppy life, but I think they also have definitely understood what sleep deprivation really looks like, and caring for another creature really looks like. So it's been really, really positive from that standpoint. I would say for the positive and negative, probably the most negative surprise, if I could say it that way, would be I kind of was hopeful that the puppy would sleep more during the day and I could just get more work done. That hasn't quite materialized, but I have found that the things that matter to me always get done no matter what, because I am strategic about carefully picking the things that I want to get done. The negative, that would be the negative, but the positive surprise that I've gotten from this whole experience is I did a ton of research. I consumed a lot of dog training videos. So like I spend some time every day, about 20 minutes a day, training this puppy of ours. And I have to tell you, it is pretty awesome and cool because my career is in transformation. And so, I mean, I've made a career out of this, right? And so being able to work with a little puppy on her own transformation and watching in real time how quickly she goes, and she can now look at me when I tell her to look at me, and she can sit when I ask her to sit, and settle down and lie down when I ask her to lie down, and leave it when I leave some food and go away from it, all in 6 days. It's so, so cool. Oh, Mary is telling me that longer day naps will come. Yay, thank you. Good to know. I definitely needed to hear that. So yeah, I mean, that's been a really cool positive surprise that I've been able to train this thing in a way that feels good. I mean, this is coming from a woman who, as a kid, I was terrified of dogs, and as an adult, I've been pretty apathetic towards dogs, don't really care, have zero interest in owning a pet. So for me, getting this gratification from dog training is a really cool upside. So that's my share about the puppy. Anyone who has questions, because I've noticed that it's piqued the curiosity, particularly from people who are on the fence about whether or not they should be getting a dog. Because, hey, I've spent the last 10 years deliberating because I have a child who really, really, really wanted one. Anyway, so it's been great, and it's been a huge learning opportunity, and it continues to do so. So the other thing I want to tell you guys about was this thing that I did where I spent thousands of dollars on a few hours for myself. Now, I have to tell you, I don't spend money on myself easily. It's not something that has come easily to me in the past. I don't buy myself things easily. I don't spend, I have to kind of get coaxed into buying myself what I actually need, by the standards that I have set for what need really means. But it's definitely something I really take a lot of consideration before spending money on myself. So I spent this money, though, because it is so clear and obvious to me that I am transforming my life as a result of spending all this money on myself, okay? And I get it. It's only a few hours. Like, what's the big deal? And a few $1,000s, like, hello, that could pay for shelter and food and really important things. And so, like, how dare I, go and spend this money on myself? But here's the deal. Hi, Jill. I have found by spending this money, number one, I have sent this crazy message to myself that I am worth the investment. And I cannot tell you how transformative that alone is. Just telling myself I am worth investing in feels unbelievable. I mean, game changing. If I would have bought myself thousands of dollars in wardrobe, I don't think it would have quite hit the same, just being honest. But being able to say my inner development and the results that I want to create in the world and in my business and in my personal life and in my personal leadership are so important that I am willing to spend thousands of dollars on things that I really feel called to do in order for me to succeed feels so empowering. And the other thing is, like, you can get so comfortable in your good life. I don't doubt if you're watching this, you have a good life, okay? And maybe you right now in this moment, you feel that way and you can see that, or maybe you don't. But no matter what the circumstances are, we can always find the good in our lives. This is in no way negating that. I would say, though, that because we have a good life, we sometimes get comfortable in that good life. We're like, I have it good. I don't need to trade up my life for a life that requires more from me, more courage from me, more and me receiving, because hey, number one, maybe I'm gonna have to, I was just talking to someone today about this, maybe I'm gonna have to make a trade-off. Maybe I'm gonna have to say, yeah, I'm gonna get something I want, but in exchange I'm probably gonna have to give something up, and maybe I'm afraid of that. Or there's just so many things, like maybe I'm not gonna want to be, maybe I just want to be comfortable and like sit back and like, I'm barely surviving my life right now, like how dare I even consider a different reality. But I would just say, if you have it in your mind, a vision of what it is that you wish your life could look like, which my hope is that you do, because my own vision is constantly a moving target. I always want to have that vision in my mind of something bigger and better that I want to tap into. I always want to be ambitious. Ambition is one of my most important values of my life. I want to always be developing and always expanding in myself. So if you're like me and you have this vision of what you want your life to look like, I want to get married, or I want my marriage to look like this, or I want my I want to be able to connect with other people. I want to be emotionally available for others. I want to have financial security. I want to have spiritual fulfillment. I want to have, the list goes on and on. Wellness, peace of mind. Another one, I was just talking to someone else yesterday about this. She is so accomplished, and she just feels this gap between her accomplishments and her identity. And I completely related to that. What is your identity? Your identity has nothing to do with your fails or your successes. Your identity is your identity. It's who you are. It's who you get to be and how you get to show up in the world right now in this moment. And you get to start fresh. I used to love the idea of summer camp because I never went away for sleepaway camp. I begged my parents. But if you go away for sleepaway camp, I thought it was so cool. You could put on like a French accent and call yourself, I don't know, what's a French name? Margot. And boom, that's your summer. You're this French girl and you get to be this really different person. How cool is that? But the truth is that renewal is actually available to you every single moment of every single day. The reason people don't respond to you in the way that you want them to potentially is you don't believe in yourself in that way. So this idea of self-belief matters. It creates our reality. It creates our the way we interact with others and how people respond to us. It creates the money we have in our bank. It creates the relationship we have with God, or whatever you want to call it, the universe. It does so much. And so, yeah, I spent a lot of money on a few hours, but guess what? Do you know what I got out of it? I have chosen strategically to place myself in front of somebody who I believe is highly successful and has mastered things that I have not. And so me calibrating to her frequency has changed my perspective. Her vantage point is way higher than mine. So now I get to transcend just from spending a little time with her. And this decision, I get to make this intentional decision every single moment that I am with her to proactively receive. I couldn't receive in the very beginning when I was talking to her. I really couldn't. I had too much resistance, too many fears and insecurities. You may even be listening to this and be like, I forget what she says. This is not going to work for me. I'm the exception. All this resistance inside of you. But guess what? Yeah, what if you are the exception? What if you are destined actually for things way greater than you could have ever imagined? And so when you start thinking in these terms of possibility, and then you start going out there and doing courageous things, and you're like, shoot, now I feel bad again because I'm doing courageous things and it's scary. And then you invest in yourself to create and cultivate these good feelings so that you can go out and do the courageous things and want more and create more for yourself. You expand. You as a person expand. And here's the icing on the cake. So many people are so obsessed with getting to the destination of what they want, and they are miserable in the meanwhile. But actually, there is the reason I'm also spending this money is I could probably get there without spending this money. I could probably get there without this coaching that I'm doing and this development that I'm doing. But I get to fall in love with the process now. Not just do I get to build what I want, I get to love the process of building. Do you know what a huge gift that is? You get to not only build a life that you're excited about, but you actually get to fall in love with the process of building it, of climbing rung by rung. You get to enjoy it. It's fun and it's adventurous and it's makes you feel full, and it just keeps you overflowing so you can give to others. honestly, this is funny, but like spending thousands of dollars on myself for a few hours is the best gift I could give to my family, to my clients, to the world, because I am so much fuller as a result. And so if I'm fuller and I'm lighter, then guess what I get to do? I get to go out into the world and fill up the world. I get to go out into the world and create light in this world. And so we can sometimes fall upon dark times personally and globally. But if we are really committed to self-expansion and filling up ourselves and creating light for ourselves, we get to gift the world with ourselves. You don't get to gift the world with yourself if you don't invest in yourself in some arena. And it's not specific to this, but if you don't invest in yourself and make the choice that what you want is okay, then you're not gifting the world anything, because you're not going to have anything to give. You're going to be surviving and thrashing around. Yay, Jessie, falling in love with the process. I know, right? It's like so refreshing. People think, okay, let me just kill myself to diet, feel horrible about it, but at least at the end I get to go on the scale and feel good or fit into the jeans I want to fit into. But what if you could actually, I'm saying this because I'm about to join my gym again after like 3 years of not joining my gym, so I need a little pep talk is in order. But what if you could fall in love with the process of getting there? What if you got to eat delicious food that you actually love? And I'm not a health coach or whatever, a fitness coach, but like, I'm just saying, and you got to be active and feel really good about that. And the whole process was just incredibly feeling like, it just made you feel like $1,000,000 every single day, way before you get to the goal you want. If you're a woman whose marriage is on the rocks or feels like you could have more of a breakthrough in your marriage, or you're not married and you really want to get married, what if the process of getting there was amazing? What if the process of being in your career was incredible, of climbing the rungs of your career? It's so there's a lot here, and as you can tell, I'm fully engaged and stimulated, and it is thanks to myself. I would like to thank me. It's like one of those, things on Instagram. For those of you who follow, they have that "I want to thank me for me" speech. I want to thank me for me because I am intentionally choosing to put myself in a position of learning, of growing, of being engaged. And it sounds on the surface in our version 1.0 unenlightened minds selfish, but it's the opposite. And it sounds in our unenlightened version 1.0 minds as egotistical, but it's the opposite, because I am far more connected with the fact that all of my abundance is being sourced from something greater than myself. And that's why I get to choose to be putting myself in spaces that make me feel that much more connected, that make my process feel fun and easy and good and full. So I really hope that this landed for those of you who heard it. I believe that the people that needed to hear it, if you're listening to this, it means that this message was for you in some way. And I would be really curious to hear what you hear from everything that I've just said. What do you hear when I'm talking? Like, what is your takeaway from what I'm saying? Would love to hear that. All right, you guys. Bye. Have a wonderful rest of your week.